goes in line with where one of these screws are. So if you look, you can see the spring down there. That gets lifted up or lowered down depending on how you unwind the nut. So you loosen the nut, lifts the table up. And that was
the spring unloads.
Does the spring unloads, yeah. So it does make sense once you
Yeah.
realize it. So so you turn the thumb screw until it's a hairline, the gap is very small. So this is when I just slid a little piece of paper. So right there, that's almost too tight because you can feel it. You can feel drag on it,
Oh yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
then I just lowered it a tiny little bit. How'd that go?
That tightened it, I think.
Yeah, it did. I was just- So you see
Good
that?
one. Yeah.
A little bit looser?
Yeah, I can
Okay.
feel it still, but it's
But you do
looser.
want a little bit of drag.
Okay.
So then that one's done. If you're comfortable with that, you just press the button again. So you could do that corner one.
Okay. So same thing.
Same thing. So just test it right now. It might even be really close.
Can't get it in there. Is this paper?
Yeah, actually, that's what I did too. I ripped off a nice piece of paper. So that's it. So you want to then turn that little
one?
screw there. Yeah.
And I want to
Loosen it.
use
Lefty loosey.
Sorry. Loosening it will lift up the
Right.
glass. So we
I
want
wanna
to tighten
tighten
that up.
Tightens, lowers,
Yeah.
and loosening. Oh, there you go.
So that's a little thicker than the paper, so
Yeah.
maybe that's good.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be precise. So now we just push that in,
Continue. It's going to do the next one.
and then it'll do this little corner over here.
Is this like it's calibrating? Is that what this
Yeah,
is doing?
because the table needs to be level for one thing,
Yeah.
and the distance of the nozzle to the table is important because if it's too big of a gap, it'll melt out in these loose, stringy, and if it's too tight, it'll actually rub the tape off because it gets really hot, and then it just won't work as well.
So how often would you do this? Like when I first get it, maybe?
Oh, for sure, when you first get it,
Yeah.
I would do it probably every 3 or 4, 5 times.
Every 3 or 4 or 5 prints?
Yep. What you might find is that it's always going to be nice and level, but if you just check it, it's a pretty quick check once you get the hang of it.
Okay.
But they say to replace the tape every time. I don't replace the tape every time. I just use the regular painter type tape. Thicker would be better. I didn't buy thick stuff. But you going like this puts oil on the tape, which will have it come off as well. So they have if you have like an alcohol-based cleaner, you can clean the tape off as well, which will help it stick. We replace the tape every once in a while. We don't do it every time, but they say you should do it every time. So that was it.
Keep going. Continue.
Yeah. And then that should probably finish.